And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us, I believe, because I've heard it down pretty messy, James M., who asked the question, who would win in a fight, the Look-See Monster or Slenderman? Now, if you're asking the question, didn't you just do Slenderman yet last week? Yes, I did. However, with the week of Who Would Wins, I'm going to basically be doing a lot of guys I already covered, including, like Jason and Freddy and Michael. They'll all have fights coming up later this week. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. I haven't forgotten about you fan bases. But no, yeah. So because it's the final week, I usually make sure I don't have any repeats in the week, but I'll do repeats from the previous week. So again, we went over Slenderman from Creepypasta last week. Let's talk about him real quick. Slenderman is a entity of unknown origin, determination. He is depicted roughly 7 feet tall, more durable than your average person, physically stronger than your average person as well, capable of psychically attacking an individual, causing hallucinations, madness, creating tentacles, as you can see in the picture here, to grab and lunge at someone with. Whether or not he can be hurt by actual physical weaponry is kind of remains to be seen. The few times people have attempted to hurt Slenderman has resulted in those said people getting severely fucked up. But that implies, though, that the fact that they tried to actually attack him means that the Slenderman might be able to be hurt physically. It's just that most people are already so freaking messed up for his presence that he just doesn't. They just can't. Think words here. That no one really ever tries to attack him generally. Now, what Slenderman is the big contention here. There are some who think he might be an alien, some that believe he might be an extra-dimensional individual, some believe he's just an evil spirit, a ghost of some kind, a demon, and there's one belief, I like this idea the best, that he's an entity, and in DC Comics, the Candlemaker, he is this type of entity. It's a being that was born from the collective belief in it, Slenderman started off as a hoax or whatever, something fake, and then enough people believed in it that belief willed it into existence. Slenderman is also capable of teleportation to some degree. Though what type of level of teleportation, it's not really known exactly what the level of teleportation really is. Because it's not like he's Nightcrawler. It's like, hey, I'm there. Oh, I'm in front of you now. Rawr. No, it seems if he is capable of that, he doesn't use his teleportation in that sense. He's more to just continue to stalk his prey and basically try to and freak them, basically try to freak them out more or less. Because he never really loses his target easily. It's very hard to escape Slenderman, more or less. In some depictions, he's literally just appeared in places and then disappeared. So it's clear he has some sort of teleportation ability, though, to the extent of what it's capable of is still, it remains to be unseen. The Look-See Demon from Crypt TV, which is a horror-based TV short film channel kind of thing. It's a demon that comes after people who are unable to move on from something, usually holding guilt or regret. It's a demon that likes to toy with the individual, and then if they are unable to release the thing that they are holding on to, they will come and F you up. So that said, the Look-See, being a demon, is incredibly swift and strong by human standards. Extremely adept at mutilation, as it's the way he removes a character's scalp when described as a near surgical precision. When intending to take a human as proxy, the Look-See will isolate them from other humans and gift them with a strange pocket watch, which always seems to be ticking backwards. Should a person accept, they'll be forced to serve the Look-See until their inevitable death. What that happens if someone refuses the offer is unknown. Look-See is capable of teleporting anywhere seemingly at will. Telepathy is the ability to read people's minds and find out what they feel most guilty about. And empathic telepathy, sense whether or not a person feels guilt or remorse. Telekinesis, capable of basically lifting people up without too much difficulty. Shapeshifting is able to shapeshift into other human beings, presumably to taunt victims that are suffering from grief or losing their loved ones. Instances of this have been displayed in the Father's Hug episode, where he shapeshifted to Jonathan's dead daughter Camille, and the Second Hands, where he shapeshifted to Mary Capshaw, and contortion. As shown prominently in the Second Love and the Second Hands, the Luxie is capable of twisting and contorting its body in many different ways. Now it should be noted, however, that the Luxie is still is a demon, but by that extension isn't invincible by any stretch of the means, or any stretch stretch of means. And by that, it's because we see that it's actually, I believe, at one point someone actually is able to cut its fingers off with a knife. The Luxie is capable of physically being harmed, just not by most modern weaponry. You're not going to see that happen most of the time. Like, you're not going to see him die from a gunshot or anything like that. But, it can be physically harmed. You can overcome the Luxie by not feeling grief or remorse. In fact, it actually really irritates the Luxie when someone does not feel guilt or remorse about something. If you are able to move past your grief and remorse, it will leave you alone. It seems to really focus on people who can't move on past things. If you can move past something, you're safe from the Luxie. Although if you try to interfere with the Luxie's, trying to get its prey, more or less, then you're screwed. So, who wins this fight? This is a very odd fight. I could see Slenderman maybe targeting someone, and Luxie targeting the same person, and that's how their paths collide. They both would probably stare at each other. Slenderman kind of more confused, just curious of what this thing is. The Luxie thinking Slenderman is a demon of some kind trying to take his prize. Like, oh, no, this is mine. You can't have this one. This is mine. Go find someone else. Go. I'm sure, he wouldn't gesture like that, but Luxie would probably be like, get out of here. Go. And, Slenderman's just like, nope, they're mine. Like, no, it's mine. So they would get into a physical altercation. Now, the Luxie, by human standards, is quite powerful. It's stronger than your average individual with telekinetic abilities and telepathic abilities. The problem right off the bat is, A, we don't know what Slenderman truly is. And B, trying to get into something like Slenderman's mind is probably a bad way to go. Unless you're like super telepath, like a Xavier or something like that. And even then, probably not the smartest thing you could do. Ultimately, it's one of those things where Luxie maybe tries to glean something from Slenderman, and Slenderman's like, that's interesting. I can do that too. And basically throws back the telekinesis right onto, the telepathy right onto Luxie, and both of them kind of have like a psychic duel for a little bit. Ultimately, I would imagine Slenderman would win that, because whereas we have a demon with Luxie, so we have an idea of what that kind of mental landscape, mental fortitude would be like, because we've seen other demons in our media, we don't have a proper idea of what Slenderman is. So it's hard. It's just impossible to say how that would work against Slenderman. And then when you get into the physical fight, they're both capable of teleportation. So them trying to basically, hold the other down is not going to work, because worst case scenario, it just pops out of existence. And be like, okay, get me now. So they're kind of just going to be playing a bit of a cat and mouse game. Maybe, one disappears for a while, the other disappears. They go after the girl or guy again. Ultimately, they come into that final confrontation. Luxie, I'll say this, is probably the more brutal to do physically. So when it actually hits in on Slenderman, it will hurt Slenderman, I'm imagining. But ultimately, Slenderman just has the advantage of his tentacles and be able to create pretty much as many as he wants. So it's one of those things where he'll be able to attack from a mid-range distance, doesn't have to even get close to Luxie, and if he needs to, tear Luxie apart. So I will tentatively say I think Slenderman wins, but I can see a world where Luxie wins. I don't think it's anywhere near impossible. Let me know what you think of the console. I think Luxie would have it over Slenderman, or you think Slenderman would take the fight? I think Slenderman would take it here. But thanks for watching. That's my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything to do on the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching, and I will see you later. I got a what if to do also.